Being a mom is one of the best and hardest things we will ever do. The Holy Spirit is here to help us. Let's learn from Him together. You're listening to The Mother Load.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Mother Load. We are here today with Brittany Roberts. She's been so sweet to agree to interview, and we're so excited just to chat about priorities in motherhood and what that looks like and how we can put those into place. Forgive me, though, my voice sounds awful today. I have this terrible scratchy throat thing going on. So if you notice gum in my mouth, it's because it helps. So we're going to get through it. All right. So Brittany, I'll let you chat for a second and tell everybody about yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I am Brittany. I've been married to Andy for almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in February, a whole decade. We have 4 kids and we homeschool. We've homeschooled for I think we're going into our 6th year, and I have been home with my kids, stay at home for the last 8 years, I think. Yeah. So off and on, we're both photographers. So we every now and then I'll get out and do some work, but for the most part, I'm home with them, and yeah. And we just live life.
Yeah. I've loved following you just over the years, even before I knew you. I don't know how I followed you, but I was like, she's the cutest mom ever.
Probably photo stuff.
Yes, probably. And I just always knew the way you carried yourself and just the way that you really just highlighted motherhood was so sweet.
So sweet.
And I wanted to be like you, even before I was a mom. It's we're going to be like Brittany.
You know what? We're all in it together. Yes. Yeah, I've always tried to make it really real and relatable.
That's the vibe.
Yes. Especially on social media, because you see stuff and you're like, how is that even real?
Yeah.
How can I ever attain to be that? And it's not.
Well, you do a really good job at
Thank you so much.
Real content. So,
you're so sweet.
It's a breath of fresh air. All right. So as we all know, there's just so much noise surrounding motherhood and what we should be doing and shouldn't and extracurriculars and just keeping up with all that's around us. And then soon enough, our to-do lists are all bogged down and priorities are out of line, and these are all things that aren't really taking us deeper with God and in our walk with Christ, and it all kind of just leaves us feeling burnout. So let's talk about some steps that we can actively take to pursue the right things and shape our priorities differently.
Sure.
All right, we're going to get through this. All right, so I have a list of questions here for Brittany. I'm really excited to hear from you and learn from you on all of it. I'm going to feel very enlightened. Okay, first thing, what are some things that tend to fill up our schedules too quickly and overload our calendars?
For sure. This was one I had to think about, but I also immediately, I guess just my brain always goes to, and this is a motherhood podcast, so that's just where the content is in my brain. But I think when we have kids, we automatically feel like we have to sign them up for everything. There was a period in my life when I felt like, every kid had to have, be in dance or a sport or a group of some sort. And then you realize, we have no days where we're not having to pack up all the kids and leave the house. And I remember having a newborn on the soccer field, and I was like, this isn't fun for anyone. He doesn't want to be out there. We don't want to be here on a Saturday morning.
That's so funny.
Nursing my baby on the sidelines. This just isn't this isn't necessary. Yeah. And while sometimes, yes, some families love that. They really thrive on let's do the sports. But there's definitely seasons where the extracurriculars it's just not it, or like us, we have 4 kids. Not all 4 kids are going to be in something at the same time, I have one of my daughters is doing piano right now, and that's the only extracurricular we have, because my little 2 don't need to be in anything. They're 3 and 4. My oldest doesn't have anything he wants to be doing right now, and we're just not going to push it.
Right.
He's got friends, he's got stuff he does outside of the house, but those extracurriculars just pile up if we're not careful. And financially, it's, you have to look at it from that standpoint too. Is this financially benefiting our family? Is this, am I outside of my house too much? By do I want to be, driving across town to these 3 or 4 times a week? How much is this going to take? How much weekend time? Because some of those sports you have
it's a
Saturday and Sunday, commitments to these things. And we're just, especially I know for us, some people love it and thrive on it. But for us in this season with still having littles, that was one of those things that we had to say, okay, we're not going to be doing that. We're not going to do that. We're going to do one at a time. And if somebody has an interest, we'll look into it. We'll do it for a summer. Luna's piano is it just goes like through the school year.
Yeah.
And so she's breaks for the summer. So like if the littles wanted to do like a summer class, like ballet or something fun, we could maybe do that.
Make that like a fun summer thing.
But we're not gonna
push it.
Yeah, we're not gonna push it. I think for families, that's one of those big things that
it's like no compromise.
A lot of stress. Yes, where you feel like you have to do it because everyone else is. But it's okay to say, no, we're not gonna do that right now.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
You know? So
I love what you say about also just like with Pearson, how you're not making him do things. Like he has no interest. And so therefore you're like, okay. Like
because we have, like, it has been, you know, like, hey, why don't you do a sport? Or like, let's try basketball.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it. We did soccer during the spring and he did enjoy it, but he was like, he's like, Mom, I know I'm not like the best one. Like, this isn't going to be something that's going to take me somewhere. I'm not trying to play.
So mature of him to like come to that realization.
He's like, this isn't going to be anything that I'm going to do the rest of my life. So why waste time doing this?
Yeah.
And we're like, I mean, you're right.
That's funny.
So let's not push it.
That's
you know?
so sweet.
But I'm like, you know, but he like goes outside and rides his bike. He plays basketball with neighbors. Like
he seems very like secure.
Yeah. But he's just like, that's just not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so we're like,
period.
Okay. All right. I'm going to save the money and I'm not going to do it.
Well, that's so refreshing. I really needed to hear that. I've been battling myself with like Josie being 2.5 now. There's already like soccer registrations at her school. And then there's dance classes and gymnastics. And I'm just thinking, am I a bad mom? Am I a bad mom for not putting her in these things this early?
You're not.
But then I'm like, she's literally 2.
She's
like,
2.
Why
she's
am
not
I stressed?
And she's not going to remember it.
No, she's thriving.
Right.
Her body's moving. She's good.
She's moving. And at that age, at 2, like they just want to be with you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So like have a dance party in the kitchen and there you go.
Yeah. We have lots of dance parties.
And then if like they get older and that's an interest, then sure, foster that, you know, if that's something. But like Luna loves dance.
Yeah.
But she loves it, but it's like she's not going to go and do competitive dance. And so, you know, every other summer she will go into like a summer dance class.
Yeah.
And that's something she can do for a little while, but it's not, you know, it's not something that we feel like we want to spend the money on. And it's not something that she really needs to be doing.
Yeah. Like you don't have to press into it that hard.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. That's sweet to hear that there's also seasons. Like this is also great already. We're on the first question. But just realizing it doesn't have to be this committed permanent thing. It can be seasons.
Yes.
It can be a summer fun thing.
It does not have to be forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that even with a yes and also with a no. Like, yeah, I understand that you want to do that right now. Because I've had to tell her that because she's my one kid that wants to do everything.
Yeah.
You know, she wants to do piano. She wants to do dance. She's like, can we do soccer? And I'm like, okay. Number 1, you've got 3 other siblings. Also, we got to pick one. Yeah, pick one. And then we'll do that for a little bit. And if you want to go into something for a little while, then sure. But, you know, it's going to be a no for now. But, like, let's come back to this later.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's so great. You're so good at being a mom.
Not always, but we try.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we learned a lot already just from that first response.
For sure.
Moving on to the second thing, was there a time in your life when you realized that your priorities were out of order? And how did you kind of handle that?
Sure. I think I go through this a lot. I think, I don't know if other people do this, visualize like your year in like blocks. So like in my head, my year is blocked from like, you know, the kind of like in quarters almost, like the spring, you know, like the January to April is like the spring. It's also probably wedding season, like with Andy's work schedule too. And then like the summer and then the fall. So for fall, for us, it's always really busy. But also mentally, I also kind of feel myself wanting to like jump into everything, like jump into all of the groups and all of the things. And like, you know, I'll be like trying to do mini sessions on the side. And thankfully, Andy is he sees that and he holds me accountable and he says, hey, it seems like we're doing too much.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we probably need to pull back on this. And even with like church, like when we first started coming and I was like, I want to be on this team, I want to be this team and this team and this team. And he's like, okay, well, we can't do it all.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to have some room.
Balance.
And so yeah, like definitely it comes and goes. And I feel like there's definitely a flow to it. Some seasons are going to be a little bit busier and that's okay for a little bit, but you want to be able to recognize it and make sure that you're not falling behind on like home life, you know? So I can recognize, okay, if I'm not able to do my stuff at home well because of all of my outside obligations, then we need to reevaluate things. Like we need to see what see what works.
Yeah.
You know, what is something that's just going to be like short term, you know, and okay, this has an end date, so we can push through this for a little bit.
Right.
Okay, this over here does not have an end date, but this is causing a lot of stress.
Right.
You know, like this
That's
is
good.
causing mom to be out of the house a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to pull back on this a little bit.
I love that.
So just kind of, I mean, it's always reevaluating. You know, me and Andy do that a lot. We'll sit together and say, okay, this something's not
What's
working.
working and what's not.
Yeah, things feel a little bit out of whack. Let's try to pinpoint what it is and figure out if it needs to change, if we need to, you know, adjust, if we need to push through this. Like, is this something that's actually important, you know, and we need to push through it, or do we need to pull back on some things, you know?
For
So,
sure.
yeah.
That's so good. You're such a natural at this.
Oh.
It's like you just had all this rehearsed in your
Please.
head. I know everyone's being so
I was in my
blessed
mirror
with all
last
of
night.
this.
Like, no.
All right. So when life feels overwhelming, how do we take a step back and reset?
So like I said, like me and Andy will have little, you know, powwows. Hey, let's talk about this. Let's figure something out. We also like to like bring the kids in and be like, hey,
Oh, that's good.
this is, especially like my big two, because they're always around the corner
They're in
listening to us
tune.
talk anyways.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, this feels a little bit crazy. We're gonna take a day this week. Usually, like, I always try to leave our Fridays with nothing on the calendar, so I always know, okay, Fridays we can reset.
Right.
Fridays, if my house, you know, if I get behind on laundry because we had a busy week, I can go and reset and catch up on that. If we ate out too much that week and because we were too busy, I can spend Friday and I can prep some food. And that way I know that we're not going to be doing that, you know, be Sunday after church and no one's got lunch, you know, like, but always having like a day of the week where I know that that's my day that I can chill.
Yeah.
We don't have to leave the house if we don't want to. We can make sure that like we're having family time. You know, Andy's usually home if doesn't have like an out of town wedding. Thankfully, he's in town a lot right now. And so, you know, we just get to spend that day as a family.
Yeah.
I also think putting our phones away and out of sight.
Yeah.
That's something that like last week we went like 4 or 5 days without like TV for the kids, because I mean we're home all day. Like my kids aren't at school during the day, and so it's really easy for us to feel overwhelmed, especially as moms, with what's going on in the house. And so we turn the TV on for the kids to try to catch up on everything else, and then we turn the TV off and they're overstimulated and they feel cuckoo crazy.
And now you gotta pay.
And now everything feels even more chaotic, but maybe the dishes got done, you know? So involving them in that, saying, hey, look, I want to rest. I want to chill. I want to have a good day tomorrow. You know, usually Thursdays, I'm like, hey, let's get in here. Let's 20 minutes, set a timer, turn on some music. Let's clean this up. Tomorrow we can do whatever we need to do. We can chill. We can rest. We can go to the park all together. We can not do anything. We can lay in the grass and stare at the sky. Like if that's what we're going to do, you know, like, but I really think putting our phones away is such a good way to like reset.
Yeah.
Like I'm always so amazed at how much I can see in my house visually and like hear when I don't have my phone in front of my face.
So true.
And that, you know, I mean, like, because we're just so, I mean, I could go off on a whole
I
tangent.
know. We need
with
another
that.
episode.
I could
for
literally
phones.
go off on a whole tangent.
I know.
My kids are probably sick of hearing me talk about it, but I'm like, because they see
It's
it.
a real problem.
They see it, and they're like, well, we don't get to watch TV. Why are you on your phone? I'm like, okay.
Ooh. It's convicted.
Something, toss it away. I'm like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Fridays are like a Sabbath to you.
Yes, truly. And I was actually talking to Andy about this, just kind of like throwing around some ideas of how we could actually implement that, because I'm seeing this a lot. People are seeing, you know, how much we have going on in that like busy culture of like go, and then just running yourself ragged.
Yeah.
And I've seen some families where they have a day of the week where they like, I mean, you're not on
Just
social
refuse
media.
anything else.
Yes. I mean, and some people go as far as, I was listening to a podcast about it the other day. She was like, we use paper plates. I prep food the day before. Like, I'm not cooking. I'm not doing laundry.
Yeah.
I'm not doing dishes. We're not on our phones. It's literally just time to like cultivate relationship with your family. Like
That's so
inside.
sweet.
I mean, they don't make any plans outside the house. And I'm like, I love that,
Yeah.
you know, and I know every family is different and not, you know, what their stuff looks like isn't what ours would look like. But I'm like, that would just be so nice.
Yeah.
You know, so Fridays are kind of our days
Yeah.
to,
It's frustrating
Yeah.
that we make it so hard,
and
you
it,
know?
I'm like, it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be that
Like,
hard.
I'm literally the ones making my schedule.
Right.
Like, why?
I am in charge of my own calendar.
Exactly.
Yes. Why did I say yes to all of these things?
Yeah. Well,
Even
it's
though
good
it's
to know I'm not alone.
No, not at all. And it doesn't
Uh,
mean that like it's a bad thing, you know? And that's what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Like if I say yes to something that maybe is not necessarily something that I should be putting on my plate, you know, that's a spot for someone else that
Right.
probably could be doing a better job
Yeah.
than me.
Yeah.
And they're going to miss out on that opportunity. So like it's not always bad to
Yeah.
say no to things.
Because you don't want to pour from an empty cup.
Right.
You want to like come from a good place and be ready for whatever
Yes,
it is.
I want to feel refreshed when I'm showing up to do
Exactly.
anything, whether it's at my house, for my kids, at the church,
Yeah.
serving. Like, I want to feel ready and refreshed. And if I'm doing too much, I'm not going to have anything left.
Right. I totally agree. Been there,
For
done
sure.
that so many
Yes.
times. It's a daily battle. Okay. Well, this has been great. Okay, so how can you've talked a little bit about Andy and
Mhm.
your kids, but how can we bring our spouses and kids into healthier priorities so it becomes a shift for the whole family?
Sure. I think just involving them in the conversation. I know me personally, I love to have conversations with people in my head.
Yeah.
You know, I love to have these ideas and things that I would love to happen
Yeah.
without voicing it to the people that I live with. And so when expectations aren't met, I'm getting frustrated because I'm like, well, this isn't how
Yeah.
this looked in my head.
Mhm.
And so just involving them in the conversations of, hey, we're, you know, I don't, even if it's not outside obligations, you know, sometimes we prioritize things in our home that don't need to be prioritized, you know, like, sometimes even I will prioritize keeping my house clean over
Yeah.
cultivating a relationship with my kids.
Yeah.
You know, they want to
Guilty.
come and hang out with me and play with me. And I'm like, no, I can't focus because this is a mess.
Mhm.
And, you know, you see all that, you know, the dishes can wait and the laundry can
Yeah.
wait. And for a moment, yes, but
Yes.
it also does need to get done. Like you can't just put it off
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. So
You
mom can
know?
also be in a healthy space.
Right. Like
Yeah.
we all like there's healthy boundaries with all of that. And so involving the kids not only in like the conversations of, hey, this is a lot, this is too much, we're going to cut back on some stuff, or even we're going into a busy season, like let's all prepare for this. You know, like this is going to be when Andy's entering into his busy season, I have to go to my son who's 13 and say, hey, he's about to get really
Man up.
busy. I'm going to need your help
Yeah.
over the next few weeks. Like you're going to be the one to be helping me do this stuff. And I have to tell my 8-year-old daughter, hey, I'm going to need you kind of, when I'm asking you to help me with chores, like I need you to step on it. No
Yeah.
complaining. And then once all of this is done and we're doing it together, then we can sit and relax together. And also teaching them that like rest is good. Rest is okay,
Mhm.
you know, because like when we went with no TV for a few days, the first couple days was, well, what do we do? Well, you don't, you know, sometimes you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes
You
you
just
can
sit.
just sit. And I mean, we learned to sit and open a book and like look at the pages, and there were no pictures and we had to read it and we had to think of it in
Yeah.
our heads, you know. We learned to have quiet time. I said, go get your Bible, sit.
Yeah.
Read your Bible, you know, and
Yeah.
like clear your head. Or, you know, they were playing board, you know, they get so bored and they're like, God forbid I pull out a board game.
No, no.
And then they're like, oh, this is so fun,
Yeah.
you know? So just like reminding them that it's okay to rest, you know, it's okay. There's a time to be busy.
Yeah.
And you know, and we're going to do it and we're going to put on our best face
Mhm.
and we're going to pursue excellence in that.
Mhm.
But then also when it's time to rest, like we actually need to
Yeah.
take a
Sit
moment
in
to
that.
do that.
For
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're really building their confidence and asking them to help you too. Like, you know, giving them tasks
Mhm.
and making them feel like you do need them and things. Like, I'm sure that's just so great for their
Well, and also too, I mean, there's 6 people in our house,
Yeah.
you know, and I
you
think
can't do it all.
I can't. And I tell them that every week. And sometimes it's nice and sometimes it's not. You know, I'm working on myself too.
Yeah.
But, you know, and back in, you know, I'm always saying, well, back in the day, way back when, you know, they always talk about like people had a village, you know, like moms and grandmas and everybody, they all lived together
Yeah.
and they did life together and everyone helped take care of the kids together. And
Yeah.
it was like a community thing. And we just don't have that anymore, you know? And it's like we crave it so bad, which is why I think we get that FOMO of, oh, well, I need to go, they're over there and I need to go do that with them, or, this thing is happening with these people and I want to go be in on it. And it's like that. We crave that community so much, but it's not what we were built for,
Right.
And so we get all discombobulated. And so all that to say, I went on a rabbit trail
I love it.
of community, but yeah, I have to tell my kids, like, yes, we love our outside community, but we are in this house
unit
together, and we are a unit. And I want them, when they grow up, to be able to take care of their house, and take care of their kids. I mean, they're learning how to parent, whether it's, a good role model or a bad, like, they're learning how to do it. And so, there's a lot of times where, my daughter's like, you're not my dad, you're my brother, you're not my dad, you can't tell me what to do. But I'm also like, let's figure out a better way to say this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, I can't do it all. Andy can't do it all.
Yeah.
So we all have our roles. We all have to do it together.
Yeah. It's good for them to also see, like, setting that pride aside and saying, like, hey, I need the help. I can't do it all. Because then that's teaching them that they also don't have to carry every single responsibility and task in their hands.
And I think too, like, as women and as moms, it's very hard to ask for help.
Yes.
I mean, it is. It's hard to say, hey, I'm struggling in this area and I need help.
Yeah.
Thank God for, I tell Andy all the time, I'm so thankful that God made man and woman for each other, because I couldn't do this by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I have such a heart for single moms who have to do it alone, like, because I struggle every day and I have to go to your dad.
I know.
Go find your dad. I can't do it right now. Or, hey, please come help me with this. Yeah. And we have to do it together, And same with the kids. Like, y'all are here.
Yeah.
You have hands and you have feet, and we are going to work together.
Yes.
And we're going to do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, this is so great.
I love it.
You're giving me a lot to look forward to with these helping hands.
Girl.
She's only 2.5, so it's a little hard to ask for too much help right now, but I'm still teaching her, like,
She'll
you
love
throw
it.
this away. Mama's not going to throw it away for you. You know how to open the trash can.
My youngest, Zoe, she loves to, if I say, you want to come help me with the laundry? And so she loves to, like, pull things out of the dryer, and then I hand things from the washer to her, and then she throws it in the dryer.
Right.
And I'm like, this is such, like, a little, it takes longer for sure.
So
but she loves it. But then if I ask my 8-year-old, hey, go help me with the laundry, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we got to start young.
Yeah.
You got to start young.
Start 'em
Here,
young.
put these forks in the drawer. It's not going to look great, but
we're getting it done.
yes,
and
we're
they're
getting it done.
learning.
Then they're learning. Absolutely.
That's great. That's also wonderful. Okay, let me find where I was at. Okay, motherhood has a lot of different seasons, as we've kind of already discussed. How do we stay aware of what's healthy in each of those seasons and adjust as the year goes on?
That's good. We can only plan so much, always, we can make a plan, but the Lord's gonna do his thing regardless. But I think also just realizing what we can handle in different seasons. What I can handle now is not the same as what I can handle when I had a newborn or when I was postpartum. And knowing that, thank God we have 9 months to prepare for a baby, so when I was pregnant, I had to know, like, okay, I'm going to have a season coming up where I'm going to have to say no to a lot of things. Like, I'm not going to be hosting at my house if I have a newborn. And thankful, and I love now that my kids are a little bit older, my youngest is 3 and now I can do that. But also knowing that every season's going to look different. If family is, we had a season recently where we had, like, family in the hospital and people were sick and we had to adjust, and it was hard, because you kind of feel like you're letting people down, but also giving yourself grace and knowing that it's okay to, like, push some things to the side, delegate, hand some things to other people and say, like, I can't carry this load right now. I can in a little bit, but right now I just can't. And, just recognizing that, and also having somebody to hold you accountable. I mean, we, friends can say, hey, are you okay? Like, do you need me to take something from you?
Yeah.
I loved what they were talking about in Huddle for, serve teams or whatever, dream team. Yeah. My brain blanked.
Words are hard.
About, like, actually knowing the people that you're working with, and I think that's so important, because when we have people like that, they can see, hey, you look like you're, like, let me help you with something. Can
Yeah.
I bring you dinner? Can I
Yeah.
do something? And being that person for someone else in that season, so that when the roles are reversed, they can come and be that for you. I mean, when I was, and I mean, I felt like I had Zoe and Shiloh so close together. And people were, bringing dinner and coming over and helping do stuff. And it just blessed me so much. And now I'm like, okay, who can I help? Who can,
Exactly.
and being that for other people in those seasons and just having people hold you accountable, I have to tell Andy all the time, if you see me losing it, you got to let me know.
Yeah. Please tell me.
Please let me know before I crash. Let me know, or please be available
Aware.
to see where. I always tell my kids, see a need, fill a need. That's what we're pushing right now. We haven't quite grasped it very well, but I'm like, see a
That'll
need.
develop.
Yes, it's developed. I'm like, hopefully if I repeat it over and over again, that once they leave my house, it'll be something that
I'm going to
sticks.
start using that. See a need, fill a
See a
need.
need, fill a need. If you see something on the table that needs to be thrown away, grab it and throw it in the trash.
Yeah. Don't walk past it.
If you see something on the floor, don't step on it. Pick it up, put it in the trash.
That's Josie.
It's not that hard.
That is Josie.
Yes, my kids too. And I'm like, I saw a lady on Instagram and I loved it. And I haven't done it yet and I want to. And she would go around and take pictures anytime her kids forgot to flush the toilet or left dishes next to the sink but didn't put it in the sink. And then she would put it on the TV and be like, what's wrong with this picture? And they're like,
my gosh,
we didn't pick that away.
That should be your school for one day.
Yes. I was like, I need to implement this.
That's hilarious.
And so I've been saving photos for it.
Please do. And then let me know how that goes.
Yes.
Let me know the response.
This is really smart because when you're not trained to see it, you don't see it. But I'm like, okay, what's wrong with this?
Yeah.
Because,
And I think it also, sorry, I sound so bad.
It's okay.
I think it also comes down to respecting the people in your household. And, when you're doing those small things, how much am I respecting that person? Or,
yes.
And so when we're all feeling well respected, it just flows better.
And respecting your things.
Yeah.
Too. I'm like, because I have to teach my kids, if we can't respect the things in our home that are ours, if we're not going to respect our own things, are you going to respect someone else's stuff?
That's
when my
good.
kids are jumping on the couch in the cafe downstairs, I'm like, we have to respect other people's things, And so I have to teach them that at home. Hey, we have to respect our stuff. And we have to take care of our stuff or it's going to break and it's going to fall apart and we're not going to have it anymore. So if you want to keep up with your shoes and have shoes to wear to church on Sunday morning, you need to pick them up and put them where they go.
Right.
Otherwise,
accountability. Yeah.
We're running around with our heads, our...
For sure.
I'm like, where are their shoes?
Oh, you're just
we
doing
just have
so
to respect
great.
our stuff.
Yeah.
And I love that. Respect the people that you live with,
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just chaos.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're on our last one and then we'll close out. So finally, how do we align our family priorities with our spiritual priorities and what importance does that hold?
Take your kids to church. That's huge for us right now. I mean, we've gone through seasons when that was not something that, it was kind of like, are we going to go today? Or are we not?
Yeah.
Yeah. But once we recognized, hey, this is something that we need to put at the top. And people say oh, well, I can read my Bible at home. It's just hard because I have little kids. But I think the devil uses Sunday mornings to do his biggest
and he does
work in families. And I've seen it and I felt it. Because we spent many years driving to church on Sunday mornings with Luna screaming her head off in the back seat.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of times where I turned around.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going.
I'm
not doing
this today.
And it was not fun. And that was probably some of the hardest years of my life because I'd say, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah. But when I recognized, okay, this needs to be a priority. So, because there's definitely times where, no, something is not worth it if it's going to impact my family negatively.
Yeah.
But showing up to church is always going to benefit my family in a positive way. And so I'm going to push through. Yeah. And you know what? I tell other people, if anything, it's free childcare.
But you get a break.
You get a break. Go fill your cup. Yeah. Go worship and fill your cup. And then go pick your kids up and they'll be fine. Yeah. They're going to be fine. Yeah. Because I was the mom who my kid would cry when I would drop him off and then I wouldn't go. Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, well, she's going to cry. But you know what? There's those
Yes.
people are down
They're
there
trained
for a
for that.
reason. They're trained for
Yeah.
that. And the more I push through, and now they run to their class.
Mm.
They're like, "Bye, Mom.
Yeah.
See you later. Are
'Cause
we
you
staying for
push
both
through.
services? Like, are we
Oh.
gonna be here the whole time?" And I'm like, "Okay." And now, but it did. It took years
Yeah.
of pushing, but when we show up and
Mm.
we model that for our kids,
Yeah.
then it becomes a priority for them. And
That's
I
so
want my
good.
kids to leave my house knowing that they're going to show up on Sunday morning and that they're going to, and then through the week, don't let it stop there. Model, I'm going to read my Bible right now. If
Yeah.
you would like to go get yours and come sit with me, that's fine.
Mhm.
No, you're not going to color in my Bible. You can color in yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zoe, a 3-year-old.
Not Zoe.
Yeah, right. She would never color on anything. But no, just modeling that is what comes first. And if any of our outside obligations are going to get into that, then we need to reevaluate. If a sports team's going to cut into our family time, if a sports team is going to cut into my Sunday morning church, then we're not going to do it. If work is going to consistently cut into Sunday morning church or showing up for my family, then we're not going to do it. And that's one of the reasons why, Andy, he used to love to travel for weddings, but he was always gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it was hard. And I was taking I'll take the kids to church by myself. I'll do it, but he's like, I want to be there. Like, this is for our family. And so he stopped doing that.
Shapes that priority.
Yeah. And I mean, and it changes things a little bit, and you have to reevaluate what that's going to look like. But I'm an advocate for, if it's going to cut into that, you gotta shift. You gotta shift it, because that, definitely needs to be
number
one.
Yeah.
Because
so good.
then everything else will kind of fall into place.
Yeah.
Well,
I know people needed to hear that today.
Good.
So
I hope so.
that's a big mom struggle. It's like, how
It's
the heck am I
hard.
going to get these kids to church?
Because Sunday mornings are the ones
Yes.
that no one can find their shoes. No one wants to eat their breakfast. No one wants to cooperate.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But I also, and I'll throw this in, because I could rabbit trail on this forever.
Please.
Because it's so important to me, because I've struggled with that so much. But making Sunday mornings easier for yourselves by planning ahead, especially when you have a ton of kids in the house. I have to tell my kids Saturday night, if what you want to wear to church tomorrow is not clean, go put it in the washing machine. And so we wash them Saturday night. We make sure everything's laid out. The girls, my little two, I have their, Sunday morning dresses, and we put them out and find all of the shoes on Saturday. Find all of the shoes.
All the shoes, the matching pairs.
The matching pairs, and put them by the door, because otherwise it's mayhem.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone else is like that, but at my house, that has always, for years, I don't know where my shoes are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well,
yeah,
you're going to go barefoot.
Yeah.
And I've
so
done it.
set yourself up for success.
So set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
And if it means a microwave convenience breakfast, do it.
Yeah.
The Lord's going to be okay with that.
Yeah. Just get out the door.
Get out the door and plan ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so good. Oh, well, I love this whole chat. I know that
I'm so glad.
I was so blessed by it. Yeah.
I'm so glad. I hope so.
Yeah, I know so many other moms were too.
Good.
So.
I'm so glad.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else to add, I'll go ahead and pray us out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, dear Lord, thank you so much for this day and just for this episode, Lord, that we were able to come together on and just talk about getting our priorities in line, Lord. I just ask you would help us to seek you first in all of our lists and to-dos, God, that we would just put you at the top and the rest would flow under that, Lord. We just ask you would help us in our walk in motherhood and just in the way that we represent you to our families, that they would just see you flowing through us and our patience and our priorities and the way that we set up our schedules, God. And we just ask for each mom listening today to just take something from this and really hear from the Lord on it. And we just thank you again for Brittany and just for how she just stewards her family so well, and for how she loves you, Lord, and just leads with such a confidence that you give her, Lord. And just praise you today and just bless your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.